Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another episode on Rajs Garage. Now today we're going to be focusing back on my Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.5 16 valve. In a previous episode we picked the car up from Jamie at JTech and they spent a lot of time giving this car some love because it was driving like a bag of drives exceptionally well now, starts from the button. However, what I did realize driving it back from Jamie's was that the suspension is very tired. You can imagine a 30-year-old car and 30-year-old Mercedes drives a bit like a boat. So today we will be changing the suspension and at the same time we'll be talking about wheels. Now, first things first, we'll get it up in the air. I'll grab Jay and we'll have a quick walk around and check if there are any other components that need to be refreshed or changed at the same time as the suspension upgrade. So the car's on the ramp and here we have Jay. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Jay. He's the head technician here at CAS. Jay, I know you're busy, but let's have a quick look at all the suspension components. I know they're a little bit tired because you've mentioned that to me before.
Yeah, so last time we had it on the ramp, we had a look and we noticed a few bits and pieces, so we can just show you that now.
Should we start at the back?
Yep. So obviously on a Mercedes, there's a lot of arms and that compared to say a Golf, for example. They've got rear trailing arms and stuff like that, and all the bushes on that look quite tired and cracked. So every little factor like that is going to have an effect on the suspension in terms of handling, you know, and the stability of the vehicle. So I recommend, I mean, it's a lovely example, we just change them.
So changed what, the trailing arms,
Trailing
all the bushes?
Bushes, lower arm bushes, everything, just get it done.
Okay, because I'm assuming this is probably the stock original 30-year-old
It
suspension.
looks like it, yeah, because it's got all the plastic cappings and everything. Generally, when you buy them, they don't really come on it. And looking at the age, it seems to marry up with the rest of the car. So I don't think it's ever been replaced, to be fair.
I suppose if we change suspension, we're all there anyway, doing all this.
Yeah.
All of this has got to come off.
We've got to take the shocks and the springs and all that off, and you know, a few more bolts and just get the arms in that. Exhaust we've done. Arms need doing. You've got a rad leak.
Okay.
So over in the front of the vehicle, the rad is due here, and you've actually got it on both sides of the radiator. It's actually the end caps which hold the radiator together and the flow. So what you're going to end up doing is sucking air into the system. Then you're going to get all sorts of issues like overheating and not working properly.
I don't want that, especially after I've already spent so much money on
the
engine.
You might as well get the rad done.
Do you think it's fairly straightforward to get all these suspension parts? Is it just a matter of
some of them
bringing Mercedes or German, Swedish?
Some of them might not be available from Mercedes now, so it might be you may have to source a few parts. Even some bushes might not be available, so we'll have to do a bit of homework and try and get hold of them. But it will be worthwhile in the end.
All right. Well, you crack on with what you need to do.
Cool.
Let me show you the KW Variant 3 suspension because that is already here. And that I don't need to order. So here is the KW Variant 3 suspension, which I've had for about 6 months. And obviously haven't installed on the car. So it's box fresh. We've got the toolkit here. We have the shock absorbers. There are 4, obviously 2 for the front, 2 for the back, 4 springs. And we have 4 of these adjustable spring seats. Which obviously allow us to change the ride height. We're not going to slam the car. Obviously we're going to drive the car a little bit harder than we can now because it's very boaty and we don't want to be rubbing anywhere. So we're just going to lower it a touch, give it a bit more of an aggressive look. We will change the wheels at some point. We'll talk about that later on in this episode. So yeah, that's the suspension. KW Variant 3 suspension offers 3-way adjustment. That's for height, compression and damping. So guys, I think I have an idea who can source us all the parts for our 190e, and the clue is right here. This episode is all about Mercedes. We have an amazing Mercedes here. This is a CLK 63 AMG Black Series. You could see just from the stance, you've got the wider arches on the front, wider arches on the back. Looks absolutely stunning. 6.3 litre naturally aspirated V8 here. That's the heartbeat of the car. Inside we have these gorgeous bucket seats, very similar to my 997 GT3 in terms of comfort and seating arrangement. So let's just give it a cold start, shall we? Sounds lovely. 6.3 litre V8. I'm not so sure about this gear lever. Maybe somebody can explain to me why it's so small. Right, that's enough of this gorgeous Merc. Let's get back onto my old school Merc. So Rygor Auto have just opened a new consumer service site just down the road in Heathrow. Dropped their Mercedes-Benz CLK 63 Black Series to us the other day for some security upgrades. We had our Mercedes-Benz cars and coffee meet, and we got talking to Rygor Auto, and they insisted that I drop the 190e to them. They will source all the parts. That's a nice little challenge, and they will fit the new parts and the KW Variant 3 suspension at the same time. So the plan today is to drop the car over to them, have a chat with them, leave the suspension with them, let them organize the parts, and then go and pick the car up when it's all ready. I'm here with Iqbal. What an awesome site, eh?
Thank you.
How long has this site been open?
It's been open for about 3 months now.
Okay, so you have been tasked in looking after my classic
your
190e.
baby. Yeah, your baby, yeah.
Yes, one of my babies. And the challenge for you is to sort out the suspension. Now, off camera, we've already had a chat. Some parts have already been ordered and in fact are here.
Yeah.
Have you got them with you here?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So here, what do we have?
We've got a couple of suspension arms.
So these are OEM Mercedes-Benz parts?
Yeah, original parts.
Any issues in getting hold of these?
Be
honest.
We managed to source them. It's not a problem. We just managed to get whatever we can.
And what's in here?
A couple of bushes for the rear. These are all the rear suspension arms, along with a couple of fittings and trims.
30-year-old parts, fresh, brand new parts.
Yeah.
I think the challenge is going to be removing those old tired parts.
Yeah,
not putting those on. I have here in the boot my new KW Variant 3 suspension.
That's it.
Again, the challenge will be removing the old suspension. When it comes to ride height, we're going to go a little bit lower than OEM, not crazy.
Yeah.
And obviously you're going to geo the car on the current ride height once you've set this up.
Okay.
And when we put the new wheels on, we'll bring it back.
Yeah, no problem.
But for the time being, I'm going to leave you the keys.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave you the car.
All in safe hands.
And I'll be back in a few days.
Yeah, cool.
Cheers.
Take care. Thank you.
So the car's now in Rygor's hands, and obviously they're going to do all the suspension and all the other bits that we've discussed. I need to find some wheels now. The wheels that are on the car obviously period correct. They came with the car. They don't really appeal to me. Some Merc fans do love those wheels on the W201 190, but I'm not a fan of them. So I'm looking at different options, and maybe you guys can have some input on this. I'm aiming towards just going for a simple AMG monoblock, which again is period correct. So 7.5J front, 8.5J back, 17-inch, which will be right. I think 18-inch for that car probably won't look right. The wheels might look a little bit too big. Second option. Now, Rotiform do a wheel called the VCE, and my friend Jay over at Wheel Pros Rotiform has a Mercedes 190e, the earlier model 2.3 Cosworth, and he has the VCEs on there. And that's a sort of take on the wheel that's currently on my 190e 2516, and find a third option, which a few of my friends have suggested, is the Evo wheel, which you get on, I think, the Evo 1, Evo 2. Gives it a totally different look. I've actually seen this wheel on a normal 190E 2.5/16 valve. It does look good. My car's not going to have an Evo body kit on there, so is it going to be too much for that car? I've given you a few options there. If you know of any other wheel that will suit the car once it's been lowered on KW Variant 3, drop me a DM, or better still, drop a comment below so that everyone else can see what you guys are thinking. One thing, before I bought this 190E, the first thing I did was carry out a car vertical history check. The car vertical history check, which works in over 20 different countries worldwide, checks for any finance outstanding on the car, checks for any mileage discrepancy, for example if the car's been clocked back, checks to ensure that the car has not been stolen or stolen recovered, which is even worse, and finally accident damage. The last thing you want to be doing is buying a car without carrying out a car vertical history check and then find out later on down the road that it's been accident damage, because you'll have major problems selling that car. If you look on the screen now, you'll see a Mercedes R129 which has been involved in a pretty bad accident, and the last thing you want to be doing is buying that car once it's been repaired. So guys, before you buy a used car, make sure you carry out a car vertical history check and use the code CAS at the checkout for 20% off. Hey guys, we are back at Rygor Heathrow, which is the consumer site just down the road from us at CAS in Heathrow, and my 190 is here. The suspension, the KW Variant 3 suspension, has been installed along with a few other new fresh components. We're going to grab Iqbal, who's just there, and we'll have a quick walk around the car and he'll show us all the new components that have been installed. So the car's been here for a little while because I've been away on holiday, but the job was done a good few weeks ago from what I understand. Now, obviously I supplied the suspension, KW Variant 3. That was all brand new, straightforward to install. Was it difficult to remove the original stock suspension?
It wasn't difficult. Some bits were obviously corroded and rusty, so it's a little bit of a tight fit to get them out.
Sorry for all the noise in the background. This is obviously a live site, so there are numerous cars and numerous engineers doing the bits and pieces, so we'll crack on.
Yeah, so we managed to get them out. We did notice a few other issues with the vehicle when we were working on it. We noticed a couple of the bushes on the lower arm had quite excessive play, so we did contact yourselves and asked if we could replace them. So we replaced them on both sides, the lower arm bushes and the top ones. They were quite seized, so we had to struggle with that, but we managed to get them all done to save your lower arms.
Sure. Was it a challenge getting the parts? Were they fairly straightforward?
No, it was pretty straightforward.
It's a 30-year-old car.
Pretty straightforward. It was, just ordered it and they had everything in stock.
And these are Mercedes OEM parts?
Yeah, original parts, yeah. I was surprised as well, but I was quite happy that, they had everything and we've got access to it.
I'm surprised because when I left you the car, I thought, okay, I think the challenge is going to be getting the parts.
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't think it was it?
No, I was surprised, but it's great, we just managed to crack on, get all of the arms replaced and fit the parts you gave us, the springs and the shocks. And we've also done the ones at the front. So we've changed your springs in the front and your new struts. We have fitted them, and we fitted them to the base height, ride height, because I know you were going to fit new wheels.
Correct.
We have carried out a wheel alignment just to bring them in, but again we'll do them again once you've put your new wheels on, and then we'll set the ride height and go from there. Also, obviously, we've replaced your front radiator.
Yeah, there was a sort of a little weep from that. Nothing excessive, but it was weeping.
Yeah, it was weeping at the side, so we've done that. Put new coolant in it, run it up, got it nice and hot.
Flushed it all out?
Flushed it all out.
Was it full of gunk?
It wasn't, to be honest.
It's a good thing, actually, because I did have that change last year.
Okay.
I had it flushed last year, but obviously it was the original rad, so internally that rad would have been just horrible and rusty as well.
Yeah.
My concern was that I was throwing all that gunk back through the engine.
Yeah. To be honest, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I mean, for the age of the vehicle, I thought it was quite good. So we've flushed it all out, put nice new coolant, run it up, bled it all out, so it's running nice and sweet. driven it as well, road tested it, and it drives nice.
Good, it's
you
good
know.
to hear.
Can't wait to see the new wheels on it.
Yeah,
And,
we'll talk about that in a moment.
And then to finish the job, basically, to set the ride height and amend the suspension at the back.
For me, it's about the handling, because sitting on the stock suspension or the OE suspension or whatever it was a bit tired, and you could feel it. You know, it felt very boaty. Throw it into corner, and the back end would want to go one way, and the front end wants to go another way. So now with KW Variant 3, one of their best suspension setups that's available for this, it should drive beautifully. All right, so what we'll do is we'll get it down off the ramp. I need to settle the bill. Be back with the car in a few moments. So guys, back in the 190E, it's a few days on from when I collected the car from Rygor. Weather's on our side, and I thought, perfect day to take it for a drive, put it through its paces, and see how the car feels and handles with the new KW Variant 3 suspension. Now, straight off the bat, I can already tell that the suspension is considerably more compliant. I'm not crashing about anywhere. The previous suspension was very tired, and you could feel it even on a straight road such as this road here. And although I say a straight road, the roads in the UK are absolutely rubbish. You know, there's potholes everywhere, there's so much camber and so on. I've got to say, car's driving well, and the suspension is performing exceptionally well. So there's a roundabout that I'm coming to now, so what we'll do is we'll try and give the car a little bit more power through the roundabout and see how it handles and if it's fairly flat. Now, the KW Variant 3 suspension, which has been supplied by our sister company, the Tuning Store, fantastic suspension. It's in fact, KW is our go-to brand for anything static. Obviously, when it comes to air ride, we use airlift suspension. But yeah, this is exceptionally compliant. Push it through its paces. So the KW Variant 3 suspension has bump and rebound adjustment, and obviously there's full adjustment for height. We haven't gone super low because I'm not sure of the wheel choice, and I didn't want the car crashing about and damaging any of the undercarriage as well. So most importantly, there's zero body roll now. Well, compared to previous, because it drove like a boat. So considerably more compliant. That's the best way of putting it. So there's a little bit of a left bend coming up on the road here. So what I'll do is I'll put some power down and see how it handles through that corner. And I'm pretty confident there's going to be very little body roll. Let's go for it. Yeah, there is a little bit of body roll, but it's considerably better than it was before. I'm not going to say it's flat, not harsh at all. Perfect for UK roads. Now, we haven't gone super low because at the moment I'm not sure which wheels I'm going for and what size. And what I don't want to do is go super low and damage any of the undercarriage as well. So we'll make those final adjustments once I've decided on the wheels. So a massive thank you to Rygor, which are only down the road from where we are. They are about 5 minutes from Heathrow Airport. It's their first consumer site in the UK, and not only are they happy to work on new Mercedes cars, so if you know, got 2017 or a 2018 E-Class, S-Class, C-Class, they really want to work on the classics. And the great thing is, you go there, you drop the car, they will sort all the parts out for you. They can get some of the classic parts, which are very difficult to get now. I had no issue getting the parts for my car. If you have got a Merc, just hit them up, drop an email, give them a call, and get your car booked in. If you need a quote on KW suspension for your car, just drop us an email on the Tuning Store website. Instagram details on the screen, and the website details are in the description below, and obviously we'll quote you up. We even offer Klarna finance, so if you want to spread your payments to make it a little bit easier, we could do that for you as well. Now, we spoke earlier on about wheel choices. I'm a little bit unsure. I think for ease I should just stick with 17-inch monoblocks, but guys, let me know what you think. I haven't seen anything yet. If you know anyone that has a set of wheels that would suit this car, then just drop me a DM and we can have a chat. Now finally, the journey for this car, there's one more episode. This car was purchased as one of our 12 in 2023. So when I say one of our 12, every month last year we were buying one car a month. I think this was our February or March purchase. Since then there's been a few bits and pieces we've done, but because there have been numerous other projects in the mix, maybe this one has sat to one side, but now I'm fully invested and I'm concentrating on this particular project. So yeah, the suspension's all done. Want to do the wheels, and we need to do security and audio. So we're going to upgrade the security, which this car has none, to a Clifford central locking alarm, Thatcham approved and so on. And then we'll change the stereo, change the front speakers, rear speakers, add an amp and add some bass. At the end of the project, which to be fair, could even be next month, the car will be going up for sale. That was always the plan with this car, to finish the work, improve the car, and then put it up for sale. So if you are interested, just drop me a DM. I'm not sure of price at the moment, but I can give you a rough idea. So guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you drop a comment on which wheels you think I should go for, and make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, as we always say, and I will be back on the channel in another episode. Until then, see you later.